So, YouTube. As you can see, The Walking Dead is playing in the background, but I'm not, you know, I'm not reviewing The Walking Dead. A tale of the worst one. How can I say this? I want to say it's like, um, almost an exact copy of Absolute Duo, but not exactly. Now, in Absolute Duo, we know that we have Blaze, and this is the same for Tell It the Worst One. Blaze, which is a weapon, that's made from your soul, basically. Now, other than Blazes, they're called Magical Knights, where you can basically have a strong, fighting ability, and also have powers. So our main character Iki, um, he wants to be a magical knight. He comes from a family that's destined that be, magical knights, but he didn't get the gene of having magical power. So he's been like, the eyeball out of the family. So he still wants to basically be a magical knight. Now, my question is, can you be a magical knight without having magical powers? Who knows? I can't exactly say he doesn't have magical powers. He has a little bit. Like I'll tell you more as I review the first episode. So, first episode we starts off with him, getting ready for his morning run, and ironically, the ironic love story he sees on TV. This princess that's transferred to the school he's getting into. She got the high scores, and she's probably the strongest of all people, named Stella. Now, he gets done with his run and comes in and sees Stella in her, lingerie. Typical, harem type of romance anime. And, but this was different because he was like, alright, I won't deny and say I didn't see what I saw. And I was like, okay, he's gonna be upfront, like most people. He said, in exchange, I'll take my clothes off. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, that's, I never heard that one before. So she was like, no, it's Malcolm. So basically, now she says she wants to duel him. And they find out they're roommates. She says this can't happen. And it's funny because she's like, I'll roommate you in one thing. He's like, what? Don't talk, don't move, and don't breathe. And he's like, what? Don't breathe? She's like, I said don't breathe because you're probably trying to, inhale my air, you pervert. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this girl is crazy, but it's funny. So she says it's a duel. She settled it as a duel. Like, all right, the winner basically is the winner is the loser. Hold on. The loser of the match is the winner's slave. So I was like, okay, do he really want to do this? And he said, I'm gonna do it. And Stella, so she has a magic ability which is fire. She has this, when I say great sword, it's like orange, red, and she got fire, of course. So it's kind of cool looking. So you know they fight, and it's like, I don't know. Icky doesn't have a magic ability, but his ability is like copying the person's fighting style, and he does it perfectly. And as they're fighting, everybody's watching like, oh my god, he's actually about to win. And when she started using her magic, he kind of like, I'm not sure if he uses magic, but he goes like really fast, and he ends up beating her. So with that said, she's his slave, and it got to a little bit of X-ratedness because he's laying down and like she's on top of him, like sitting on top of him, and I'm like, what is she doing? Like, don't you know he's asleep? And she like, this how a man's body look, and she keep pulling his shirt like, well, he saw me, and then he's just like, what are you doing? So it's kind of funny. But the end of the episode, basically, he says, I want you, and she thinks, to be his sex slave. She's like, I won't do it, I won't do it. And then he's like, no, I want you to, you know, be my roommate. And she's like, oh, alright. And, typical love, harem, anime. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I've been watching a lot of harems, and I'm starting to get tired of them. Like, this one, Absolute Duo, the Asterisk War, um, To Love Ru I've been watching, High School DxD. Harem is the new seller out of anime or something. You gotta have a harem, anime to sell. I don't know. I guess it's alright. But, I'd rather have people, I'd rather have it different. But the only reason, I will say this, the only reason I'm reviewing this is because of the action and the swords. Obviously, people have different abilities, and obviously, I love this shit. I think this shit is cool. Like, High School DxD, the dragon and stuff. This with the swords. I like action. Like, it kind of remind me of Bleach with the action. If you mix Absolute Duo with Bleach, this will be this anime. But yeah, I know it's like a low key. I know it's gonna be like a sleeper at anime. Like people won't really watch it because, you know, too many, Seraph and ON, the Asterisk War and other animes is pretty big, and this one's kind of like in the cut. But yeah, that's episode 1. The Teller, the worst one. I forgot what like the Japanese name of it is, but peace, YouTube.